What's going on, Reject Nation? Greg Alba here.
John Humphrey.
Well, we got some movie news for you guys. Before we go into this movie news that has just been announced, I want to give a Patron of the Day shout out to Scuba Steve, because Scuba Steve does a lot of graffiti artwork just on the streets of New York. Look at some of these awesome photos that he has here. I feel like it fits with the Joker, graffitiing stuff, the ha-has and all that. Oh, you know how it is. I feel like it links. So Scuba Steve, go check out his Instagram. I follow him, so you should follow him too. And I like his post, so you should like his post too. Scuba Steve, thanks for being here for such a good amount of time, buddy. I hope that the dating sites are working out well for you, and I hope that you get that multiple person in the bedroom thing going for you as soon as you can. Guys, this article comes from The Hollywood Reporter. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker origin movie a go at Warner Brothers. Phoenix recently finalizes his deal to star as the arch nemesis of Batman. The Joker origin movie is officially a go at Warner Brothers. Joaquin Phoenix recently finalized his deal to star as the arch nemesis of Batman, and shooting is set to begin in September in New York. Todd Phillips is directing the film and co-wrote the script, which the studio describes as being an exploration of a man disregarded by society that is not only a gritty character study but also a broader cautionary tale. Scott Silver co-wrote the script. Warner has yet to stake out a release date for the film, which goes against the grain of most comic book movies that have flags planted years in advance, but the Joker standalone pick is meant to be different from other comic book superhero movies. Project's budget is in the $55 million range, significantly lower than the tentpoles that dominate the form. And the standalone is meant to be darker and more experimental in tone and content, at least as experimental as a studio can be with established brands such as DC, which is described as being akin to a crime drama. Ooh. There's a chance this movie could be ready for release as early as late 2019. Okay, cool. It looks like Joaquin Phoenix is officially going to play the Joker.
Maybe he'll be the first Joker with a really scraggly beard.
I imagine he might be the first Joker, maybe with a deep voice, too, actually. I've been wanting that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I know we usually have the higher-pitched Joker voices.
I'm going to need something to wear in a very big truck.
And I think if you really want to branch out and make something different, and if Warner Brothers is also having Jared Leto continuing to be the Joker in their continuity of the extended universe, then I think it would be smart to actually have Joaquin Phoenix do a deep voice Joker. I think that would be cool. I know that might be a thing that some people aren't really talking about. That's just my little take.
Hey, dude, create as much contrast as possible, especially because Jared Leto's Joker hasn't left the best taste in everyone's mouth.
And because Jared Leto's Joker is still going to be around, too.
Yeah, true that. And I feel like, you know, this has to be a kind of a dream come true for any actor, I would imagine, even if you're not jazzed about the idea of tentpole superhero movies. If you got offered the role of the Joker, I bet most people would be like, well, I got to put my stamp on this. And Joaquin Phoenix is a terrific actor with such a sense for mannerisms and character transformations. That gets me really excited just to see him do it. I'm wondering how old he's going to be for this origin story, because, you know, the Joker origins that I know about, he's a younger guy at the time, it seems like, at least younger than Joaquin Phoenix is now.
Well, I don't think this is really going to be following any specific type of graphic novel at this point. I really feel like they're going with as much creative freedom as possible, which gets me excited, because if you're talking about doing experimental spin-off types of movies.
Yeah, the Elseworlds stuff, that's what I've been wishing for since the superhero movie became the big thing, is like, when are we going to finally branch out into some of the weirder, more sidebar stories, you know, and if this is their first step towards the actual Elseworlds stuff, I'm really excited about that.
The fact that it's only a $55 million budget leaves way for more creative freedom and for them to do something even more crazy in terms of how violent, how hard R they want this to be, because it seems like it's headed down a path of being a hard R movie, which I think would be really awesome to see the Joker in a hard R film. He's a character that kind of deserves to be in one at this point.
Oh yeah, well, in that Joker book they put out a couple years ago after the Dark Knight, you know, blew it back up again, was kind of in that vein, so I wonder if maybe they'll borrow from that a little bit.
Yeah, I think Phoenix is not known for playing, like, wildly eccentric characters. He's known for transformational roles. He's known for really being in character, even when the cameras aren't rolling. With that being said, I would like this to not be the, lesser version of this guy.
Quiet, depressed Joker.
I kind of feel like I'd be in the mood for that at this point. If you're going to do a standalone one, do something that's just totally different. That's why I'm thinking more subtle, deep voice Joker could actually work. It'd be something totally different and it would branch out. I feel like you get a first trailer for that. There might be a really mixed audience reaction for it. But if you really commit to this transformation, that would be pretty sweet, man.
See, I can imagine Joaquin Phoenix as a Joker who's like amused a lot of the time and only gets truly like hugely animated and crazy like in the most intense moments. And that could be also a really fun dynamic. This just opens up so many possibilities to my head,
And I think with Todd Phillips doing this, I think he could probably strike a good tone for a dark comedy. I like what he did with War Dogs for the most part. It was a Scorsese wannabe film. I think that by the time you get to The Hangover 3, the guy clearly wants to do something that's more of a thriller instead of a comedy. But he has a comedy established career, and I think with the Joker, you need to have a dark comedy element. So I imagine that with a visual style that he's developed over the years, with also having a good grasp of comedy, I think that this film could actually work. I actually have faith in it. It might seem weird to release this, especially since there is a Joker already out there in the Jared Leto form, and people who don't follow movie news might be a little bit confused as to what's going on. I imagine that's the other thing that could happen. However, for those who understand what's going on, I think this could be really sweet.
I feel like I have a little more optimism for this kind of thing that isn't encumbered by what the main DCEU plot has to be, what all the other films need to be. It seems like something like this is going to be allowed to be kind of its own isolated thing. And that makes me optimistic. I've heard some people whispering that the plot of this may echo The Killing Joke in a lot of ways, or they might take direct inspiration from that.
The thing with The Killing Joke is Batman's such a heavy influence in it. I feel like to do a Joker origin movie, unless you're completely going away from the comics, it'd be very hard to not at least reference Batman in this film or make the Batman be known. It might be cool to see Bruce Wayne in the film, but not see Batman. But then you get into a whole other territory now. Like, if there was to be a Batman or a Bruce Wayne, you have to cast a completely different guy for that one, and then that could lead to more confusion. You could reference them, but not actually cast them.
I mean, I think it would be really awesome if to do kind of what you've talked about in the past, where you have Batman on the fringes of the movie, like only showing up as a very outside presence, a very kind of distant presence to the main action of the movie, could be cool. But yeah, that's the thing I started to realize. Are people going to be confused? There are people who are confused about the nature of like Spider-Man Homecoming, even though most of us who like are all in the movie news know the circumstances, having too many Jokers and too many Batman at the same time might be a little cumbersome.
If you do have Batman in it, I think it would be cool is if you treat the audience through the Joker's perspective. Like, maybe you see Bruce Wayne and maybe you see Batman, but you never show the audience, even though the audience will know, you don't directly show the audience that Bruce Wayne and Batman are the same person. You keep it strictly from Joker's perspective in this movie. I'm looking forward to this one. Like, out of all the DC movies that have been announced, this is the one I'm actually looking forward to the most because it seems the weirdest. It seems the most experimental, and at this point, I'm really down for that. Because it's something entirely different than trying to emulate anything Marvel's done in terms of movie studios. I'm not talking about comic books, but in terms of movie studios, this is a cool path. I'm excited. Joaquin Phoenix is an amazing actor.
Seems like the lane where the DCEU could really actually establish itself and get that Val Kilmer Batman back.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, what do you think of this news? Are you excited that Joaquin Phoenix is officially doing this? Did you see You Were Never Really Here? What about We Own the Night? That one's alright. You guys can subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell because subscribe buttons suck balls. And you can check us out on Patreon. Full-length TV show reactions, weekly Q&As, music video coverage. We'd love to have you become a patron today.